Let's go, baby. Advancing to 10-3. That's how we go out there and get W's. First and foremost, this wasn't a revenge game, but it definitely was a bit of vengeance. We got the job done, and we got the Browns back. 2 weeks ago, y'all got that W on Thursday Night Football. Today, we take care of business. Unfortunately, we're not undefeated in the division because we messed around and took that L, but nonetheless, we got that W back and continue to extend the gap on Baltimore as they are sitting at the crib during the bye week, praying on our downfall, but we ain't worried about them. Kudos to Cleveland, making it an interesting game down the line, but one way or another, you took that L. Everybody was chanting from the stands, Cleveland sucks! Well, I say Cleveland rocks on the goddamn L train because that's exactly where you're headed. Get ready for Elimination Station and the Death Note in a couple of weeks. Now, let's break down the doggone game. First and foremost, the story of the game is the defense. We played magnificent on defense. Way to get after the quarterback. 3 sacks. We took down Jameis Winston twice. Was Cameron Hayward once. Alex Highsmith. There was a roughing the penalty call that was on Highsmith. I think it was somewhat a little bit cheap, but that's just the era of football that we play in. You got to be able to understand and recognize when the ball is released, you don't go and put a contact on the quarterback. I know there's quarterback hits is essential and you need to tenderize those ribs, but you got to let off once that football gets released. That's first and foremost. Secondary, we did a hell of a job. Jerry Jeudy exploded last week against Denver, prime time Monday Night Football for 230 plus some yards. Today, mans ain't even crossed 60. I believe he was probably about like 50 something, whatever the case may be. One way or another, we took care of business, right? Because Cleveland did not have a very good offensive day. Last week, they're over 500 yards. We were over 500 yards as well. We struggled offensively for the most part in this game. Granted, we put up 27 points. It did not feel like it was 27 points. We're going to get to that in a minute. Our run defense took care of business. We did what we needed to do. Special teams unit, magnificent. Right? I don't know if in the event we were an influence on those missed field goals from Hopkins. He's been struggling the past 5 weeks. One way or another, he missed 2 field goals. And Kadarius Toney did what Kadarius Toney likes to do. And that's make bonehead decisions when it comes to receiving punts, kickoffs, whatever the case just so happens to be. Muffs a punt also gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I would like to think that Danny Smith and our unit happened to go and galvanize him into being the bonehead that he just so happens to be. So hell of a doggone W for the defense and also the special teams. Now, offense. We didn't explode like we did last week against Cincinnati. We did what we needed to go out there and do to win. Our run game, we gotta get this going, man. All right, because it looked very stagnant for the most part throughout the game. We were able to pick up much needed yardage, tail end of the game in order to go and move those chains and put it away. But we've got to be much more consistent on the ground because when this team can run the football, I personally believe with the way that we're able to throw the football, even though we didn't have Pickens out there, let's just say he's healthy the rest of the way, I don't think we could be stopped if we can run the football the way we know how to run the football. Kudos to Jaylen Warren being somewhat of a bowling ball, refusing to go down. I don't know what the deal is right now, bro. He out there looking like Bitcoin. He ain't going down whatsoever. You could, 3 different dudes try to contort his doggone body. He just back up. He back up. He like a pseudo-wudo over there, refusing to go down. We love to see that effort. Cordero Patterson, I absolutely love you. All right, but you can't put the ball on the ground late in the game like that. Now, let's talk about the passing offense. It looked incredibly abysmal early on, but for whatever the reason is, our first quarters are god-awful. Second quarters, third quarters, fourth quarters, we remember how to play football. We've still yet to play a full 4-quarter game. Cohesively, offense, defense, special teams. We have not had our best performance of the year yet. Granted, last week on paper and also watching visually, we saw a hell of a product, but defensively, we were not our best. So we need to see a full 60 minutes of everything working like a well-oiled machine. How many 3-and-outs did we have this game? Maybe 5? Ponder, maybe 6, whatever the case just so happens to be. We cannot allow ourselves to not produce offensively. We started like, 0-5 on third down? Ridiculous. Also, red zone. We have to pick it up and find the end zone and score touchdowns. I'm tired of us getting inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, and all of a sudden we got to send Boswell out there to go and make the kick. Now, granted, he not going to miss. But still, we need to put touchdowns on the board because I'm not looking past any opponent that we have. But let's call it what it is. Take a look at the remaining schedule. You got Cincinnati, who has shown us they can score against us. Philadelphia, who's winners of 9 consecutive games, undefeated with A.J. Brown there, able to put points on the board. Granted, they can be beat, but still, if it becomes a shootout, we don't want to be in a situation where we can't score in the red zone. Kansas City, offensively, may not be looking the way that they have in the past, but still, that's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on that doggone sideline with an addition of DeAndre Hopkins. As far as I'm concerned, we've got to be able to score in the doggone red zone. Baltimore still on the schedule, things of that nature. We've got to be able to score when we get within striking distance. That is our biggest goddamn Achilles heel right now. If we can become a proficient offense inside the red zone, I promise you, nothing but happy days is in our future. The run game is one thing. The red zone offense has been a problem since we had Todd Haley here. So we have to get that fixed, or perhaps somebody better go call fucking Jerome Bettis out of retirement and he'll be able to find the end zone. So get that together. But overall, very good day of Steelers football. We get ourselves a W, advance into the 10-win column, and truly we're head and shoulders above the remainder other individuals inside of the AFC with the exception of Kansas City and Buffalo. I don't want to hear anybody talking about Baltimore. I damn sure better not hear nobody talking about Houston, all this other stuff. Give us our respect. You know the media ain't gonna go over here and talk about us, oh, well, they just beat Cleveland or whatever the case may be. We're not gonna get none of that notoriety. Cool. Let's keep playing the role of the underdog. We had a long streak in which we were constantly top 3 in the AFC. Now they don't want to talk about us. But you know what the goal is? It's always going to be to stay away to 7, getting that Lombardi trophy back over in Pittsburgh. But above all else, we've got to be able to go and get ourselves some playoff games. I believe over the course of the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to clinch our ticket to the postseason. But let's continue to stay consistent moving forward. But our toughest stretch of the season is coming up very, very soon. Because we've still got Philly, we've got Baltimore, and we've got Kansas City to come. So we got to stay consistent. Look forward to watching the behind the scenes of Hard Knocks. It's going to be magnificent to go and watch another divisional win. But one way or another, we got ourselves a W. Grab your alcohol, drink, maybe party, slice a pizza, maybe go to Permani Brothers. Go get yourself a sandwich because we just advanced to 10-3. Everybody get your hands up in here. Steelers on 3, win on 6. 1, 2, 3, Steelers. 4, 5, 6, win. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. And stop those goddamn penalties, Joey Porter Jr. Enough. Relax, bruh. Stop touching people. What's wrong with your ass? Always touching somebody. Stop touching them. They do not consent. They do not consent.
You know I'm a degenerate.
All these knockout commentaries had me thinking, why don't I knock someone out myself? So I came up with Knockdown Tea, guaranteed to help you sleep longer, sleep better, relax, and restore. Passion fruit flavored, so you know it's good. Simply take it 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep. And our slogan is 1 cup down for the count, 2 cups, throw in the towel. So make sure you click the link in my description. Head over to knockdowntea.com and grab your first pack today.